We on the record in cause number 328432. The case is styled the State of Texas versus Jacob Lenore Benfield. Mr. Benfield, you can turn on your microphone. And you can turn on your video as well, if you have one.
I think my video is working.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Benfield?
I'm all right.
Okay, now, Mr. Benfield, you're represented by attorney Mel Shalander. Mr. Shalander is also appearing by Zoom. Mr. Shalander, how are you doing?
Hey, Judge.
Mr. Shalander, do you have an announcement that you'd like to make on Mr. Benfield's case?
Yeah, I just got the videos yesterday. I'd like to reset it for another announcement to give it opportunity to review the videos with him, maybe 30 days or something like that.
Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, it will be 5/26 or May 26, 2021.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Benfield, just stay in contact with your attorney. And this will conclude your case. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Shalander, is this your only case?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Shalander, you have your notice will be sent to you. You're excused and you have a blessed day as well.
Okay, thank you.
We're on the record in cause number 319854, the State of Texas versus An Doe. Mr. Doe?
Yes.
Mr. Doe is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Doe, how are you doing?
Good. Yeah.
That's good. Mr. Doe, you're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Joe Garcia. Mr. Garcia is also appearing by Zoom. Mr. Garcia, how are you doing?
Good morning, Judge. Doing well.
That's good. Mr. Garcia, do you have an announcement that you would like to make in Mr. Doe's case?
Judge, we'd like to get a reset on that. We just got an offer from the state and we still need some more discovery on it as well, please.
Okay.
Judge, that's correct. I just spoke with Mr. Garcia and gave him an offer, and he was asking about some videos that I'm going to have to check into and see what happened there.
Okay. The case is going to be reset till May 26th of 2021.
Okay, Judge.
Mr. Garcia, your notice will be sent to you, and this will conclude your case, and you're excused. You have a blessed day. Mr. Doe, stay in contact with your attorney. This will conclude your case as well, and you are excused as well, and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, Mr. Bailiff, could you please go get Keith Pruitt? Keith Pruitt, he's outside. Keith Pruitt? We on the record cause number 328092. The case is filed with the state of Texas versus Keith Andre Pruitt. We have Mr. Pruitt present in court. Mr. Pruitt, how you doing?
I'm doing well, sir.
That's good. Now, Mr. Pruitt, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Bruce Cobb. Mr. Bruce Cobb is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Cobb, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor. I can barely hear you, but I'm getting it.
Okay, Mr. Cobb, you have an announcement that you'd like to make in Mr. Pruitt's case?
The only announcement I can make is we haven't seen the videos yet. I have been given discovery, and also Mr. Pruitt has a pending felony. As far as I know, he is charged with assault on a public servant. So I don't know who the attorney is or how that is working out, but I understand he has a pending felony, and we have to deal with that. So
Okay, his
I'm
felony-
gonna try to find out what the district attorney wants to do on that case and obtain the video. Probably spend some time showing Mr. Pruitt what had happened. But that's all I can do for right now.
Okay, now, Mr. Cobb, Mr. Pruitt's felony case is set on April 29th of 2021. You would like this case to be set on that same date or a different date?
That date would be fine, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so your case is gonna be set on April 29th? I know. Okay. So, once Mr. Pruitt, he comes to court, he has to report here and he has to report down to the criminal district court on that date. Mr. Pruitt?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Mr. Pruitt, you can stand over there on the X in front of the court coordinator at the end. She's gonna give you your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. All right, thank you. And Mr. Cobb, this will conclude your case. You are excused. We will send you your reset, and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that. I'm excused.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you.
Pepper, would you go get Joyce LeBlanc? Okay, are we ready? That's a plea? Are we not ready on any pleas then? No, I was just wondering, anybody have any pleas ready?
Jared?
Okay, not yet.
I still need to speak to Ms. Ringos.
Okay,
Is she gonna
okay.
come down at some point, Judge? Stay up there.
We're on the record in cause number 327280. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Albert Martinez. We have Mr. Martinez. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Martinez?
Good, and you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Martinez, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Jared Gilthorpe. Mr. Gilthorpe, how are you doing? Mr. Gilthorpe, you have an announcement you'd like to make in Mr. Martinez's case?
Yes, sir, we'd like to be placed on the trial docket.
Okay, hold on a minute. She'll give you a date. At the bottom of page 4. Okay, your case is gonna be reset for trial on June 7th. Mr. Gilthorpe, stand over there and get your reset. Now, Mr. Albert Martinez, once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
All right, sir, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, we're on the record in cause number 328090. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Ramon Rocha. Your full name is Ramon Rocha?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Rocha? That's good. Mr. Rocha, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Jared Gilthorpe. Mr. Gilthorpe, you have an announcement for the court?
Yes, sir, we'd like to be placed on the trial docket.
Okay, we're gonna reset this case. It's gonna be placed on the trial docket. Could you give us a date?
6/7.
Okay, June 7th, 2021, you can get your reset. Mr. Rocha, once your attorney gets your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. I thought okay. We on the record in cause number 327296. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Douglas Paul Ames. We have Mr. Ames appearing via Zoom. We also have Mr. Ames' attorney, Mr. Ryan Gertz, who is also appearing via Zoom. Mr. Ames, how are you doing? Mr. Ames, can you hear me?
Well, Judge, we were having trouble because he was having trouble getting muted earlier. I'm not sure what the issue is now. Maybe his audio is not on at all.
Oh,
So, I mean, he's obviously present.
Yeah.
We could see him. So, Judge, we were just going to ask for an additional announcement date. Maybe that May date. You've given a few other lawyers this morning. We've got all the paper discovery and we've recently received or downloaded the videos. But we've not had time to review them. There's going to be multiple videos in this case. And then we'd like to get an offer from the government as well.
okay, just hold on a minute. Court coordinator will give you a reset date. Just hold on a minute.
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
Okay, Mr. Gertz, your case is going to be reset to May 26th. We'll send you a copy of your reset. Mr. Ames, well, he can't hear us. This will conclude Mr. Ames' case. Mr. Gertz, you're excused and your client is excused as well.
Thank you, Judge. I'm texting him in the chat room on the side here, so
Okay, I'll
I'll let him know.
yeah, I'll just remove him from the,
All right, thank you, Judge.
okay. All right, you have a blessed day. Tell him I said he has a blessed day as well.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Have a great day. See you soon.
All right, thank you. We on a record in cause number 329005. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Rhonda Kim Boyd. Miss Boyd, would you please raise your right hand? Miss Boyd, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. How you doing, Miss Boyd?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Miss Boyd, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. James Macon. Mr. Macon, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor.
That's good. Miss Boyd, the information states or alleges that on or about March 9th of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration of 0.15 or more. This information further alleges that during a period from May 3rd of 2019 until March 31st of 2021, and information charging you with the above offense was pending in a court of competent jurisdiction in cause number 322673 in County Court at Law number 3 of Jefferson County, Texas, and style of state of Texas versus Rhonda Kim Boyd. And specifically, that offense was a driving while intoxicated second. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And this paragraph basically tolls the statute of limitations. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Boyd, to the offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration of 0.15 or more, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Boyd, I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 1. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Boyd, are these your initials on the line that says guilty?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of the same document, there's a signature at the top of this document that purports to be yours. Is that your signature above the line that says
Yes.
defendant? And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature at the bottom of this document?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that are marked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving, which means that you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I have another document here. This document is titled the Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is that your signature on the second line of this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Boyd, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Macon, go over these documents with you?
Absolutely.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
States one, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macon, you have advised and counseled Ms. Boyd. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Boyd, your attorney, Mr. Macon, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Absolutely.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Make it dated, update that. Ms. Boyd, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 1 year to be probated over 2 years, a $2,000 fine, 80 hours community service, DWI education course, drug and alcohol assessment, the interlock, and the DWI intervention program.
Ms. Boyd, the state is offering that you serve 365 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because your jail time will be probated for a period of 2 years. During the 2 years probation, you'll also be required to pay a fine of $2,000 plus court costs of $442, which comes to a total of $2,442. You will also be required to pay probation fees of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and you will also be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class an initial fee of $125 on the day of the plea. If a further evaluation is needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, the total monthly installments that you would have to pay in this case is $185. Would you be able to pay the $185 per month? Now, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You will be required to attend the DWI education class and alcohol assessment, attend the DWI intervention, and install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Ms. Boyd, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Boyd, you can stand on the X near your attorney, and you're gonna follow directions of the court clerk. And once you finish in here, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Your Honor.
You are.
Thank you.
Mr. Baker, you have anything else?
No.
Okay, you have a blessed day as well, Mr. Baker. We're on the record in cause number 318912. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Benny Smith. We have Mr. Smith appearing via Zoom. And Mr. Smith, you could turn your mic off of mute. You could, yeah, turn your mic off of mute. It's on mute. We can't hear you.
Talk to him.
Yeah, I see. Mr.
There you go. He's trying something.
Can you unmute him as the admin?
I don't think I did. What's that? Hold on.
As the
Normally,
admin.
I can mute them and then they say they have to.
I think you can unmute.
Let me see. Benny. Ask to unmute.
There
It's,
you go.
it just say ask to unmute.
Oh,
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, we can hear you now. How you
Yep.
doing? How you doing, Mr. Smith?
I'm doing well. Thank you, sir.
That's good. Mr. Smith, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Jared Gilthorpe. Mr. Gilthorpe, how are you doing again?
Doing well, man.
Mr. Gilthorpe, do you have an announcement would you like to make in Mr.
Yes,
Smith's
sir.
case?
We'd like to remain on the trial docket and
Okay.
proceed with trial when we can.
Okay, we'll give you a trial date. What is it?
6/7.
Okay, it's gonna be reset to June 7th of 2021. Mr. Gilthorpe, you can get your reset. Once you get the reset, you'll be free to go. Mr. Smith, your attorney is gonna be given a reset for your case. Your case has been reset for trial on June 7th of 2021. And this will conclude your case. You are excused and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Your Honor.
What case is this in reference
Oh,
to?
Miss Boyd, we just did her plea. Your Honor, she's had a portable breath.
That's bullshit. The fourth. That's just which just won't affect that place now because you won't have anything, so they can't use.
Where is it? That's what I just did.
That was nice.
Let me do this here. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's see. So you're back on the record? And Miss Rhonda Boyd, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor. 329005.
Right.
And she has a portable breath test machine that she's had for quite some time and it's tested 4 to 5 times a day and would like to continue with that rather than go through the expense of an added interlock.
Well, I'm gonna just take this one on the advisement. I hadn't
It's my understanding, Your Honor, that if she doesn't have a vehicle, that's what would be required is.
She doesn't have a vehicle?
No, sir, I have a vehicle, but Judge Woods has approved her. I've flown it 4 times a day.
All right.
For almost 2 years.
Yeah, but I think the requirement is an interlock, if I'm not mistaken, according to statute.
Or portable breath test, Your Honor. This is Class A.
Well, hold on a minute. Yeah, we're back on the record. I'm looking at statute, Article 42, 8.408, Section F. And it doesn't mention anything in that about a portable breath test. It only talks about an interlock. Okay. States, Ms. Ramos, what is your position on this?
My position is that I'd like it to be whatever the law is, and if it's required for the interlock, then I'd like her to have the interlock.
Okay, yeah, we'll just require the interlock. She'll just have to, yeah. Yeah, so right now
we
we
need an order allowing her to turn back in portable. Your Honor, she doesn't need both of them at the same
I
time.
understand. Can you draft one up?
I'll have one to you this afternoon.
Okay, we'll look at, now, Ms. Ramos, before we get off, you don't have any do you have any objection to the court removing the requirements for, now, was that as a condition of bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so her bond will be ended.
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
so that would be, okay. So, what we'll do is he's gonna get us an order because the bond has ended. And, I think we did one recently. And, pursuant to that, once the bond conditions has ended, she is not required to have the portable interlock as part of the probation.
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, I mean, Sam, do you have any objections to that? Because she would no longer be on bond, that's my understanding.
No, Your Honor, I don't have objections since the bond's ending.
Yeah, the bond, she would no longer be on bond, but once her case is disposed of. Okay. All right, that'll be the order of court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. We're on the record in cause number 325890, State of Texas versus Caleb Jose Esparza. Mr. Esparza, would you please come forward? How you doing, Mr. Esparza?
Doing good?
Okay, that's your full name, Caleb Jose Esparza?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Esparza, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Matuska. Mr. Matuska, how are you doing?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Mr. Matuska, do you have an announcement you'd like to make in Mr. Esparza case?
Yes, Judge, I've spoken with Ms. Ramos about the qualifications of Mr. Sparza for the pretrial diversion program.
Okay,
We're asking the court if we could reset this just past the next signing date, which is the first week of June, and get him in the program. She has no objections.
so we'll reset it, second week of June? Okay, could you give him a date, okay, second week of June? This is, Caleb Esparza. No, date.
5/26.
This has to be in June. He's, yeah, he's applying for pretrial diversion. June 16th. Okay, your case is gonna be reset to June 16th of 2021. Mr. Esparza, once your attorney gets your case reset, you'll be free to go. And Mr. Matuska, is this your only case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you'll be free to go as well. And both, Mr. Esparza, you have a blessed day, and Mr. Matusky, you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Freeman.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Now, Mr. Freeman, you represent a gentleman by the name of Jacoby Deontay Hope.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, he's not present in the court.
He's outside in the lot in the hall, I guess, Your Honor.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna have a bailiff go call his name again. You already had 2 bailiff calls.
Jacoby Hope. Please answer. He is present, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, we'll take it. I'll make sure that you're here. I got you. I got you, Your Honor. I know you're here.
Mr. Hope, would you come on up? Okay. Let me see. For the record, this is cause number 326860. Your name is Jacoby Deontay Hope?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Hope?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Hope, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Antoine Freeman. He's appearing on Zoom. And Mr. Freeman, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor, but yourself?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Freeman, you have an announcement you'd like to make in
Uh,
this Hope's case?
Your Honor, we would like to have it placed on the plea docket. There's an offer of a fine and court costs. If you can tell us the exact court cost, so the next time we come in, we
Could you
can
hold on, go ahead.
have the money available, that'd be appreciative.
The case number is 326860.
There's a fine of 500 plus court costs. And that's the offer Mr. Hope would like to accept, but if we can,
The court cost is $287.
What?
Yeah, the court cost is $287, so that, plus
Okay.
for 700.
So it'd be a total,
780, 87, 787.
well,
Mr.
Mr. Hope may have that today. I don't know, Your Honor.
I have, my check should be in by Friday. I probably gonna pay it by the end of this month, so, I mean, by the middle of next month, April.
Oh, okay, so how many weeks do you need to get it?
Give me like 3 weeks.
Okay, we'll give you 4 weeks.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna reset it for 4 weeks. Did you give us a date? Okay, it's gonna be reset to May 10th of 2021. Mr. Hope, you can stand over there in front of the court coordinator, get your reset, and you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Mr. Antoine, is this your only case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Antoine, you're excused and you have a blessed day as well. And we
Thank
will,
you, Your Honor.
okay, we will send you your reset.
Thank you.
All right. We got any, oh, here we go. I know, Ryan.
Jason Bailey's on the screen and his client's in the courtroom. He's on the trial docket.
Okay, we're on the record in cause number 324403, the state of Texas versus Ruben Gutierrez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Oh, good morning. Now, your name is Ruben Gutierrez,
Yes, sir.
and Mr. Gutierrez, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Bailey, you are, well, first of all, Mr. Bailey, how are you doing?
I'm good today. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Bailey, Mr. Gutierrez case is on the court's docket. You have an announcement for the court?
I believe it's going to be a trial, Your Honor.
Okay. Hold on for a trial date. It's going to be reset to June 7 of 2021. Mr. Gutierrez, you can stand over there and get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Bailey, I think this is your only case, so you are excused and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. You as well.
We're on the record in cause number 326005, the state of Texas versus Ryan M. Rice.
Present, Your Honor.
Yes. Now, your full name is Ryan M. Rice, is that correct?
Ryan.
Ryan
Yes, sir.
Rice. How are you doing, Mr. Rice?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Rice, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Rice, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you may put your hand down. Mr. Rice, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Willard Hall. Mr. Hall, how are you doing?
Doing great, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Rice, the information in this case alleges that on or about December 14th of 2019, while you're in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Rice, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Mr. Rice, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No contest.
Now, you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charge?
Okay, what you said?
Are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Rice, do you recognize this document, State's Exhibit No. 1, which is the misdemeanor plea admonishment?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this document, Mr. Rice, are these your initials on the line that says nolo contendere, which means no contest?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of this same document, Mr. Rice, is that your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, Mr. Rice, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
There's one box that's checked at the top of this document. That box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have a discovery certification?
I don't have it, haven't got it yet, but,
Give him, oh, is that the last one that's in there? The first one. Is that the last
this is
one?
the last one.
You have to make a copy of it. Just hold on, I'm gonna make a copy of it.
Okay, also,
Ashley, call Mel in the courtroom. Okay, we're back on the record in clause number 326005, State of Texas versus Ryan M. Rice. Mr. Rice, I have another document before me that is titled the Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Rice, prior to signing and initialing the Discovery Certification, State's Exhibit number 1, and the misdemeanor plea admonishment, these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'd also like to offer State's Exhibit number 2, that's the probable cause affidavit for this case.
Do we have any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibits number 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Hall, you've advised and counseled Mr. Rice. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Rice, your attorney, Mr. Hall, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rice, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it's for 90 days to be probated over 1 year probation, a $750 fine, 60 hours community service, interlock, drug and alcohol assessment, and the DWI education course.
Mr. Rice, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you now have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs, and the fine and court costs come to a total of $1,157. You will also be required to pay probation fees of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and you will also be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class an initial evaluation fee of $125 each month. If a further evaluation is needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, the total amount of your monthly installments will be $180. Would you be able to pay the $180 each month?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Rice, you will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, attend the DWI education class, have a drug and alcohol assessment, install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, and you will also have to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Mr. Rice, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Rice, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Rice, please stand on the X next where your attorney is standing. Follow the directions of our clerk. And once you finish in here, your case you'll be excused and you'll have a blessed day. We're on the record and call 325-498. The case is styled the State of Texas versus Victor Isidro Cruz Gonzalez. Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Cruz Gonzalez?
I'm doing fine.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, the information alleges that on or about November 23rd of 2019, while you were operating the motor vehicle in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, I'll show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 1 is the misdemeanor plea admonishment. You'll notice that there's a box that's checked and driving while intoxicated first offense.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And that's what you've been charged with. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, are these your initials on the line that says nola contendere?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of this same document, Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, is that your signature above the line that says defendant? And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, do you recognize this document? And is that your signature down here at the bottom above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
There's one box that's marked at the top of this document. That box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have your discovery certificate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature on the second line above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'd also like to offer State's Exhibit number 2. That's the probable cause affidavit for this case.
No objection.
Okay. No objection. State's Exhibits number 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Hall, you've advised and counseled Mr. Cruz Gonzalez. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, your attorney, Mr. Hall, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it's for 180 days to be probated over 1 year, a $500 fine, 60 hours community service, DWI education course, and drug and alcohol assessment.
Okay, Mr. Cruz Gonzalez. The state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, this jail time will be probated for 1 year. During the 1 year probation, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 and court costs of $407, which comes to a total of $907. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll also be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments will be $160. Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, would you be able to pay the $160 each month?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, you will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, attend and complete the DWI education class, and have a drug and alcohol assessment. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Now, Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, stand on the X near your attorney, follow the directions of the clerk. And once you finish in here, you'll be free to go. And Mr. Cruz Gonzalez, you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Are we ready on George Paul LeBlanc?
I'm ready, Your Honor.
Okay.
He's got a record. He's got a criminal record.
Okay, we're on the record in cause number 327256. The case is styled the state of Texas versus George Paul LeBlanc. Is that your full name?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. LeBlanc? That's, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. LeBlanc, you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, Mr. LeBlanc, you may put your hand down. Mr. LeBlanc, the information alleges that on or about August 15 of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, you was charged with the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration of 0.15 or more. Mr. LeBlanc, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. LeBlanc, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you're actually guilty?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. LeBlanc, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, which is the misdemeanor plea admonishment. Mr. LeBlanc, I gotta make a change to this, a Class A misdemeanor. Now, Mr. LeBlanc, I just made a change on this document. I checked the box that says Class A misdemeanor. Now, Mr. LeBlanc, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. LeBlanc, is that your, or these your initials?
Yes.
On the line that says guilty. On the next document, which is trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, Mr. LeBlanc, is that your signature?
Yes.
At the top? Also, Mr. LeBlanc, I have before me a document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Mr. LeBlanc, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is that your signature above the line that says
Yes.
defendant? There's one box that's checked at the top of this document. That box states that this is a plea bargain case, you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I also have before me the trial court's, well, a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is that your signature on the second line?
Yes.
Now, Mr. LeBlanc, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Fukuda, you've advised and counseled Mr. LeBlanc. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
There is none, Judge.
Mr. LeBlanc, your attorney, Mr. Fukuda, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. LeBlanc, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers are freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 180 days to be probated over 18 months, a $750 fine, 80 hours community service, the DWI education course, the drug and alcohol assessment, and an interlock.
Okay, Mr. LeBlanc, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you'll be placed on probation for 18 months. During the 18-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs, and then the fine and court costs comes to a total of $1,172. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and you'll also be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments that you will be required to pay is $145 per month. Would you be able to pay the $145 per month?
Oh, yes.
And Mr. LeBlanc, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class with a drug and alcohol assessment, and install the DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. And you will also have to adhere to the standard terms and conditions of probation. Mr. LeBlanc, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes,
And do you accept the state's offer?
yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. LeBlanc, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. LeBlanc, please stand on the X where your attorney is. Follow the directions of the clerk. And once you finish here, Mr. LeBlanc, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Fukuda, I think this will conclude your case, and you have a blessed day as well.
Thanks, Judge.
And nice seeing you.
Yes, I'm glad you were able to see me.
We're on a record in cause number 326358, the state of Texas versus Seth David Warner. Mr. Warner is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Warner, you can take your mic off of mute and put your video on. Do you have a video?
Yes, sir. Sorry. Still learning.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Warner?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Warner, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Todd LeBlanc. Mr. LeBlanc, how are you doing?
Good, Judge, thank you.
Mel. I see here, yeah. Well, we have two cases. The other case is cause number 322928. And on cause number 322928, I see that Mr. LeBlanc is noted as your attorney on that case, but on cause number 326358, it doesn't show that Mr. LeBlanc is your attorney on that case.
Judge, I missed the attorney on all the cases. That was the issue last time we were here, but
Did you send a letter of rep?
that would have been some time ago. I can check. Maybe I haven't.
Well, usually if it's one and call it and tell us it was for both of the courtesy, but I have a question mark to myself.
I had appeared.
I remember you appeared previously.
Yeah, because he has actually three cases.
Three?
Three, they may have dismissed one, and then two cases, and then a third one came up, and I believe that's when I appeared for him, but.
Okay, so, but we should have, now, what's your announcement on the case that, on the assault case?
One that's set today, Judge?
Yeah, both of them set today, but, you actually, what's the announcement on that?
Judge, I believe, speaking to the prosecutor, something I think we're gonna get worked out.
So you want to set it on a plea docket? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if it'll be a plea, Judge. I think they're gonna dismiss the case once we take it necessary documents.
So we're gonna keep it on the trial docket? Is that, okay, so, what we'll do, we'll reset it, give us a trial date. I mean, let me,
Six,
let,
seven, come in,
well,
sign
let-
a reset, let him sign a reset for me for the other case, so I can.
hold on, wait up. Ms. Ramos,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. LeBlanc was mentioning something about some information that y'all, need to get. How much time do y'all need to get that information?
It's dependent upon a third person, so I'm not sure, Your Honor. Just if you give us another trial reset, then it should be resolved.
Okay, what about if we reset it for something like 60 days? Would that be, or just a regular reset? Which one you want?
I'm getting a message that those people are coming to see the prosecutor soon, so 30-day reset.
30-day reset? Okay, give us a date.
We don't have a 30-day trial date.
Well, the nearest trial date to 30 days.
6/7.
Okay, so we're gonna reset it to 6/7/2021. Now, as I said earlier, you're gonna have to get us a letter of representation on the second case. Okay? Because I mean, I see here, but we don't have any, we gotta have something at least in the record. We'll set both of them on the same day though. Okay? All right, you can stand over there, get your reset. Mr. Warner, this will conclude your cases. You have a blessed day and you're excused.
Thank you very much.
Mr. LeBlanc, I think if you don't have anything else, you excused as well. Okay, now, Mr. Macon, I think you had an issue.
Announcement of Logan Myers, Your Honor, he's at present.
Myers?
Myers, on page 2. He needs 30 days to formalize either hiring me or another one.
Have Mr. Myers to come on in.
Logan Myers?
Did he have one of those letters of explanation? Logan Myers. If not, we could just get him to. Okay, we're on the record in cause number 325704, State of Texas versus Logan Chase Myers. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Myers?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Myers, the last time you was in court, you signed the judge's explanation stating that you wanted your case reset to hire an attorney. My understanding that you haven't hired that attorney yet, but you're looking at possibly hiring Mr. Macon.
Yes.
Okay,
Or
so,
Mark Packard.
or whoever,
Yeah, but
or
he'll have
whatever.
a lawyer by next time.
Okay, so whatever, so we're gonna give you some more time to hire the lawyer of your choosing, okay? So you can stand over there, get your reset, and you'll be free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. We're on the record in cause number 316114, State of Texas versus Stephen A. Seidman. Mr. Bailiff, would you just go to the courthouse door and call the name of Stephen Seidman?
Stephen Seidman.
Okay, there's, the time now is 10:30, no, 10:43 on today's date. It's 10:43 a.m. on today's date of March 31st of 2021. Mr. Seidman was scheduled to be in the court for the announcement docket at 9 a.m. His name was called again at about 9 a.m. and he did not answer. And Mr. Seidman has not appeared in court since the court's been in session since 9 a.m. We do have present Mr. James Macon, who is the attorney of record for Mr. Seidman. Mr. James Paget, who is the attorney of record for Mr. Seidman. Mr. Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Paget, you have information on Seidman?
I do, Your Honor. He has not appeared the last few times. He is, had a pretty bad cancer diagnosis. He's at MD Anderson right now. The last court date, he was receiving chemotherapy. Now he's on his last dose of radiation. I've been trying to get documentation. I just verified again last night that he's receiving his last radiation treatment, but he doesn't have any family there with him, so it's a little complicated.
Okay, I think you, if I'm not
I showed
mistaken,
you the last
you
few
gave us
times.
some documentations last time.
Several times, Your Honor.
Yeah, just get the documentations that you can get to just to verify that he's unavailable.
It's real tough to get
Understand.
hold of him right now. He's been in and out. He texted me a little bit last night, but I haven't been able to get his voice live.
Okay, Ms. Ramos State, you have any objections to us giving Mr. Paget some time to get the information to the court?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll just hold off on a bond
I
forfeiture.
appreciate you, Your Honor. I'll be diligent in my efforts to get that done.
Okay, now, next case. Oh. We're on the record in cause number 325-641, State of Texas versus Chris Flores. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call Chris Flores? Chris Flores? Your name is Chris
Yes.
Eduardo Flores?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Now, you are here represented by Mr. James Paget. Mr. Paget, do you have an announcement you'd like to make?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask that this case be placed on your trial docket. In all fairness to Ms. Ramos, she's not familiar with this case. I was working with Ms. Musgrove on it. So I just sent her a text telling her that I would get with her and catch her up to what our position is.
Okay, so you can get your reset. And once you get your reset, you and your client are free to go. You have a blessed day, and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Maria Figueroa. Would you please call the name of Maria Figueroa? We're on the record in cause number 326650, State of Texas versus Maria Figueroa. Is that your full name?
Yes, Maria Inez Figueroa.
How you doing, Ms. Figueroa?
Good, thank you.
Okay, now, Mr. Paget, you have an announcement you'd like to make?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask that this case be placed on your trial docket as well. We would be entering a plea if not guilty.
Okay. Reset date, trial. What date do we have?
6/7.
Okay, this case is gonna be reset 6/7, and you can get your reset, and you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You have a blessed day as well, Mr. Patrick. Fillmore Gart. Fillmore Gart, please call the name of Fillmore Gart.
You should be right outside. I've got Tyrone Williams here for you.
Okay, your full name is Fillmore Thompson Gart.
Yes, Your Honor.
How you doing?
All right, all right.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Paget, do you have an announcement you'd like to make in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask that this be placed on your plea docket, the soonest possible hearing we can do. Please, the court, of course.
Fix the date. Okay, it's gonna be reset to May 10th of 2021. You can get your reset. Once your attorney gets your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And you have I think you have another case, Mr.
I do, Your Honor.
Paget.
Yes, several.
Philip Fouts? Is Philip Fouts here? Call the name of Philip Fouts.
What page are you
Page 6.
on? I've got two others protected in here. Philip Fouts? Philip Fouts.
Okay, Mr. Paget, we didn't get a response on Philip Fouts.
Your Honor, I received if you'll allow me just a few minutes, I received a text from him a little bit earlier.
Let's,
As soon as I step out,
well, let me, you said you had two other cases?
I do, Your Honor. Yeah. I got Ollie Field, well, he's not on the misdemeanors, but he says he's hired. Well, I'm not-
Where's,
Tyrone Williams, yes,
where,
I'm not.
he is, okay, what about Tyrone
Mr.
Williams?
He's present. No, he says he's hired. Well, I don't, no.
We're on the record in cause number 326274, State of Texas versus Tyron Lazay Williams.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Williams?
I'm doing okay.
That's good. Mr. Williams, you represented here by James Paget. Mr. Paget, you have an announcement you'd like to make?
I would ask that this be placed on your plea docket, Your Honor. I've received all the discovery, and I just need to sit down with Mr. Williams and review a couple of things. So it's going to work out. I have an offer as well.
Okay, reset to May 24th, 2021. You can get your reset, your attorney gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Is that your last case? Mr. Macon, is that your last case?
I just need,
I mean, Macon, Mr. Paget.
It's okay. I'm not offended by that.
Yeah.
I'll step outside and try to
Okay.
reach Mr. Fouts real quick. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's okay. You got a lot of names. To call. I'm not
Yeah.
offended by that.
okay. Mr. Hall?
Yes, sir. One other case I have in the docket was Cody Vogue. And he's available by cell phone if you want to call his
Yes.
name. But we're just asking for a 60-day reset. He's working out of state.
Okay, we on the record in cause number 323133, State of Texas versus Cody Warren Bowe. We have present in court, Mr. Bowe's attorney, Mr. Willard Hall. Mr. Hall is calling, you calling Mr. Bowe?
Yes, sir.
He's calling Mr. Bowe to get him on the phone.
Hey, Mr. Vogt, you're in court. Would you like to say hello to Judge Holmes, please?
Hello, Judge Holmes.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Bo. Mr. Bo, your attorney, Mr. Hall, is here. He's going to make an announcement on your case. Mr. Hall, you have an announcement?
Yes, sir. We've done a discovery. I still don't have a plea bargain offer. I would like to ask that at some point the prosecutor give me a call. My cell phone number is 409-781-4966. I think they also have my office number, and I'd like to talk to her about this case.
Okay, so Mr. Ms. Coordinator, could you give us a date?
60
what-
days.
You want 5/10 or 5/24?
5/24. Okay, so your case, Mr. Bo, is gonna be reset to May 24th of 2021. Please stay in contact with your attorney. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day. Can you hear?
Yeah, you're free to go, Cody.
All right, and you're free to go as well, Mr. Hall, and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you.
Who is,
Your Honor, I have Terrence Allison on the screen and Terrence Allison.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Dana Overstreet? Dinah, is that Dinah?
Yes, sir.
Dinah Cheryl Overstreet is your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're on the record and calls number 327-698, State of Texas versus Dinah Cheryl Overstreet. Ms. Overstreet, how are you doing?
I'm fine today.
Okay, Ms. Overstreet, thanks for being patient with us this morning.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Allison is appearing
Yes.
via Zoom. Mr. Allison, how are you doing today?
Good morning, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Allison, you have an announcement you'd like to make in Ms. Overstreet's case?
I do not, Your Honor, because I'm asking that this be reset. I can give you specific reasons if you want.
Oh, no, you just needed,
I just ask it reset, please.
okay, reset on the announcement docket.
Yes,
5/26.
What about 5/26?
that's great.
Okay, we're gonna reset this case to May 26, 2021. Ms. Overstreet, please stay in contact with your attorney. You can stand over there and get your reset. And you have you're excused. Once you get your reset, and you have a blessed day.
You too.
And Mr. Allison, I think this is your only case. You were excused and you have a blessed day as well.
You too, thank you.
On the next one. Yeah. Come on up. Okay, he took care. Okay. We're on the record in cause number 326658. The case is styled the State of Texas versus Zachary Irvin Cagle. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Cagle?
I'm good.
That's good. And you're here represented by Mr. Kimmler. Mr. Kimmler, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. Thank
Okay, Mr. Kimmler, you have an announcement you'd like to make? And
you.
Mr.
Trial, Your Honor.
Reset it for trial? Okay, give us a trial date. It's gonna be reset to June 7th. You can get your reset, and once you get your reset, Mr. Cagle, you'll be free to go. And Mr. Kimmler, is this your only case?
I hear you, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, so you'll be free to go as well. Mr. Cagle, you have a blessed day, and Mr. Kimmler, you have a blessed day as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We're on the record in cause number 328174, the state of Texas versus Philip James Fouts. We have Mr. Fouts appearing on Zoom. Mr. Fouts, you could take your mic off of mute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Fouts?
I'm doing all right.
That's good,
You
Mr.
doing all
Fouts.
right?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Mr. Fouts, you're here and via Zoom, your attorney is present in the courtroom. Mr. Paget. Okay, Mr. Paget, you have an announcement you'd like to make?
Your Honor, he has a felony court date coming up, and we would ask that his misdemeanor be put after that date so we can try to work something out on it.
Okay, Ms.
I anticipate
Coordinator,
having one concurrent.
Ms. Smith, you have a date for him?
I can do 14 Friday.
That's fine.
You want, okay. Okay, your case, Mr. Fouts, is gonna be reset to April 16th. This case is gonna be reset to April 16th.
Yes, sir.
And so, stay in contact with your attorney. Your attorney will be given a copy of the reset. And, Mr. Fouts, this is your only case. You're excused and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And Mr. Paget, I think this is your last case.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care, Mr. Phelps. Call you shortly. Sir.
That's what the court was, we said, Mr. So,
Ms. Morrison is ill today.
Okay, so Ms. Morrison is ill. Okay. Yeah, okay. Who is that Ms. Morrison's client? Is she here?
He's right outside.
Okay, I could just have him to come in and just let him know, okay.
another trial date?
A big part.
Is Ms. Morrison wanting another trial date?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, she's on a different docket. Oh, that's still have it?
That's all from trial.
Yeah, because I don't think he comes here.
So we have Mrs. Fields, Regina George. and
Cyprian.
Larry Richard.
We could just have him to come up. Cyprian? Why don't you come on up here, Mr. Cyprian? We're on the record in cause number 325108, cause number 110, and cause number 326280. And I'm gonna repeat that second case, cause number 325110. Mr. Cyprian, you represent, first of all, Mr. Cyprian, how are you doing?
Good, sir. How are you, sir?
Okay, now, Mr. Cyprian, you are represented here by your attorney, Ms. Stella Morrison, is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
And the court has been informed that Ms. Morrison is sick and she will not be able to appear here. And your case is on a trial docket, so we're gonna continue your case. Or we're gonna give you another date.
Okay, sir.
And it's gonna be a trial date, okay? So you
Okay,
can stand over here in front of the court coordinator on the end, and she's gonna give you your reset date. Once you get your reset date, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, thank you, Judge.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the paperwork that was just handed out to you is titled "The Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney." I will go over this document with you, and it reads, as a defendant in a criminal case, you have three options. Number one, you may hire an attorney. Number two, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Number three, you may represent yourself. If you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. At the bottom of this document, it reads, defendant's choice. Mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, then you put your initials on the first line to the left. If your choice is, I have hired an attorney whose name is, then you will place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to apply for court-appointed counsel, then you'll put your initials on the third line to the left. If your choice is, I have a court-appointed attorney whose name is, then you'll put your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself, then you'll put your initials on the fifth line to the left. Once you have placed your initials on one of the 5 lines, then you will sign at the bottom of this document where it says defendant, and you will sign today's date, March 31st of 2021. Once you have finished initialing, signing, and dating this document, someone will pick it up from you, and then we will proceed from there. on. Okay. We're on the record in clause number 328-104, the state of Texas versus Diana Lee Broussard. Ms. Broussard, that's your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how you doing, Ms. Broussard?
I'm fine.
Okay, Ms. Ramos,
I've spoken with Ms. Broussard and had spoken with her previously. We're waiting on someone to come up to our office and then this case will be resolved. And so the state's asking if we can get a 60-day reset to give some time for that to happen.
okay, now just for the record, Ms. Broussard, you signed a judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney in that. You stated to the court that you wanted to waive your right to an attorney and to represent yourself. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you also signed a waiver of counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding the trial prior to you talking to the prosecution. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, let me do this here. I see that this is a family violence case. Ms. Broussard, did the court give you some bond conditions?
Yeah.
Last time, I think.
You
we went
did?
over them.
Okay, we'll just check. Okay.
I don't see any bond condition. No, I don't have no bond condition. What's a bond condition?
Okay. Could you reach me?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. We're back on the record in clause number 328-104. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Diana Lee Broussard. Ms. Broussard just handed you what is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that? I'll go over this with you.
Okay.
And it reads, following the arrest and/or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. And that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, subsection A2 and subsection C2. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of a pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim, Dakota Broussard. Do you understand that?
I don't go about him, but he comes to my house. But
Okay,
he's not
well-
even in Texas no more, so he gone.
Okay, so you cannot communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that?
I
And
understand
the
that.
victim in this case is Dakota Broussard.
I cannot stop Dakota from driving up in my yard, sitting in my yard. They even called the police, and they told me that I cannot put a trespass.
Okay, Miss Broussard, if these conditions are violated, your bond can be revoked and you can be arrested and be put in jail. Do you understand that?
I understand that. So what you telling me, he got the right to pull up at my house? and
I'm
I go to
saying,
jail?
I'm saying that you have to adhere to these bond conditions. I can't tell you what to do. If you need some advice, there are several attorneys that you can talk to, okay? But your failure to obey these bond conditions may result in you being incarcerated.
So if he pull up at my house. and
Miss,
he's sitting in my yard,
okay, Miss Broussard, I'm not here to answer any questions. There are attorneys who can give you any legal advice. I can't give you any legal advice. Do you understand that?
that's fine.
Okay, so just please adhere to these conditions. If you need to talk to, a lawyer, you can talk to a lawyer.
I don't need a lawyer.
All right, stand over there. Your case is gonna be reset. If we say 60 days?
Yes.
Okay, we'll reset it for 60 days. And once you leave here, Miss Broussard, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yeah, Mitchell, Edwards, and Jordan.
We on the record in cause number 328040. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Regina Elizabeth George. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir. Carrie is my maiden name. Carrie is my maiden name.
Is your maiden name?
No, George is my marriage name.
Okay,
Carrie is
so,
my maiden name.
okay. So I'm saying the case have you as Regina Elizabeth George.
Yes, sir. it's me.
That's you, okay. Now, Ms. George, I see here back in February, you were supposed to scheduled to hire an attorney. Have you hired that attorney yet?
Well, when I caught this charge and I bonded out of jail, Mr. Burbank got me a bond and felony work. And so I'm not understanding why.
Oh.
When I,
There's Ms. Burbank right there.
yes, but he's my felony lawyer, so I have to hire.
Okay, so so we just need your case reset so you can hire Mr. Burbank? Is that what you said?
Yes, but I just started my job, so it's kind of hard right now. I have.
Okay, so well, what we'll do, we'll reset your case to give you time to hire an attorney, okay? Just stand over here, and your case will be reset to give you time to hire an attorney. Could you